Sounds good.
You thought I was going to say something. Now I'm going to say something. I was just holding on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mostly gentlemen, welcome back to This Week in Base Hit. I am your host, long, lifelong Brewers fan, Zubaz, and I am joined, as always, by lifelong Dodger fan, Citizen Clone. Clone, how's your
God,
week?
it was okay. Our hats are going in different directions this week, man.
Uh,
Brewers are on fire. I'm wearing this hat, hoping to Dodgers are falling apart. We'll see
they'll
what happens.
figure it out. This is just what happens during the season. If you remember last season, they had a stretch like this too.
Feels worse, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, hitting into the triple play didn't help. I'm sorry for bringing it up again, but it was amazing because it was Shohei. The bases were loaded. It felt like they were just going to crack the game open, and then he just like lofts it to second base. Zach Neto catches it, steps on second base, throws it, and then I forget who was running back to first. Then he tripped over the bag and fell down. It was
It looked like he was hurt.
yeah, it was just
That was a
it's
low.
just so embarrassing. Like,
That was a low moment. Well, yeah,
it was bad.
it
It was
was
bad.
bad. It made me want, when you play Stratomatic, but years ago I used to play Status Pro, and they have rare events, rare
Oh,
plays, and that made me want to, we got to have the dice roll that triple play added to base hit, even though
yep.
it
There
would
is
be
a
crushing. It would just be
it,
crushing.
it would be crushing. Yeah, I mean,
Um,
especially watching play by play during the playoffs and just see like a one or a what it'd probably be like a what, I don't know.
it's almost
Oh,
always
or
be a
even
shortstop
unassisted. It
or
was
second
just like
base.
a
Uh,
unassisted triple play.
no, the unassisted. I looked at, well, it wasn't unassisted.
No, I
That
know,
would
I
be
know,
even
I
worse.
know.
But yeah, that would have been even worse. But oh,
Uh, but
because you gotta, yeah.
on the other side of the coin, the Brewers 12 wins in a row. I'm wearing my Brewer hat today because we're going for 13 against the Reds tonight. And it's funny like how entitled you get when your team's on a winning streak because now like the thought of them losing would just I know it's going to happen and it's just going to be like that shouldn't happen. That should never happen, you know?
Uh, what did I
Because
just read about the free burgers?
oh yeah, so yeah, big deal. George Webb, uh, always if the Brewers go on a 12-game winning streak, they give free burgers to anyone that comes in. Like it's such a bad promotion, but an amazing promotion at the same time.
I don't know
Last
what George Webb is.
George Webb is just like I don't know how far they
Burger chain?
yeah, it's a burger chain and it's like Midwest into Canada and they had to do it in 87. On the first 13 games of the season, the Brewers went on a run. And then after that, 2018, they did, but it overlapped playoffs, but they still lived up to the thing. And so this is only third time in franchise history that they've gone on a 12-game run. And I mean, I don't even know, hundreds of thousands of burgers. It has to be an enormous business loss,
Yeah,
but it's great marketing for a couple weeks.
yeah.
So yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Pretty cool. I'm
And they
happy
are
for you.
winning in a
And
variety of ways with a whole bunch of good guys on the DL or the IL, I guess. So it's fun.
if it can't be the Dodgers, I'll enjoy some Brewers love
Brewers baseball.
here
Yep.
if that's what it needs to be. But we'll see.
Yep. So
Um,
a lot more
we got
season
big we
left.
got big changes going this week,
Oh,
man.
wait, one last thing. I
Oh,
just
go
got to
ahead.
say because the Brewers are about to play 19 games in 18 days.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst stretches of baseball that you can possibly get in a schedule. And so they're
How many of
gonna
those makeups?
just the one doubleheader against the Cubs.
Oh, so they
So
were going to do 18 and 18? All right.
yeah, they were already doing 18 and 18, and then the 19th game makes it one of the worst stretches that you can have because you have a doubleheader in the middle of it, no less.
Okay.
So it's just the pitchers are going to get chewed up, which sucks
Somebody
going
made
into.
a comment. I think they were joking about because I've been doing the 81 days, 81 games in 81 days in the contest.
Yeah,
And that's mostly my default now because we're working on our endurance things, but
Yep.
we already you already don't need to have that much depth, so I'm gonna make you guys.
Make
This
hey,
is kind of the theme of the week. You were saying you were gonna give me crap for being too mean, but
you're mean this week.
I want people to have to figure out depth, so I'm not letting you get rest. But speaking of, today was a bloodbath in the
It
contest.
was brutal.
Um,
I advanced with a 38 and 44 team or something like that. I, yeah,
it was just if you're not playing, I had the last 2 days were just slugger fest.
they're
More people.
monsters.
There were a couple people I haven't checked yet to see how they did it, but a couple people that had above 500 records on them.
Yeah, only one that had a positive run diff though.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, only one positive run diff, and it was plus 2 runs. That was Perry.
All right, I got to see how
And
we did it.
yeah, well, he went all offense. I actually think that he becomes a coin flip team. Like he could be finish last or finish first. It just that's why I didn't do what he did. But he got fortunate this time.
I've got one more week of being mean to you guys. I don't know if you've looked at this week,
I have
but
not. I feel like it's bad
salary
luck
cap.
until I'm out of the tournament to look at the next week.
That's I like that.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
should never look ahead.
Salary cap's a little bit lower, and the final two opponents are heavy finesse guys this
Oh,
week. So we'll see. The computer's learning off you guys. But
yep.
then next week, then the week after that, week five,
A reprieve?
I'm going the other way, and we'll have the blowout, which I do not think will be fun, but we'll see. But you guys will have crazy money, and you can just act like it's Christmas, and you see what you do.
I don't actually like that idea either because like that anybody can have the best team. So
Yeah,
like there's less skill involved.
but we'll see. We'll see
But
if
we'll
people have
see.
fun with it.
There might be secret ways to or tricky ways to like plan out a team that would be helpful. I don't know. I'll need to look at it.
Yeah, I believe in some hard choices. I believe that constraints make creative strategy in games, but we'll try to lessen the constraints at least. I won't go crazy with it because then it will just be everybody getting everybody, but
One
we'll figure
compliment I got to give you that we were looking at right before we started recording is there's a bunch of people that haven't made a day five that made it this week. So like there was
it like
like
that.
the choices that had to be made here forced like people that were just stuck in old strategies that just always worked didn't work this time, and so it forces different decision making and couple people we haven't seen there before. Also, shout out to G Sparks. Shout out to Cardinal Fanatic. I saw, and I forgive me if I'm forgetting a name, but I know both of them are first time Fridays. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we had a regular group that were making it every week, and it's a little bit of a bloodbath up there, which I'm happy to get a little shake up in there. We when I when I added the games to the schedule and made it 81, there was the worry on the one side of like it's too much luck, and then we went the other way where the same people are winning every week, and then it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
we're not. You need a little bit of variance. Like we're not playing chess here. There are people that play chess, but I think having some chance in there, and but also not that it was just chance that got these guys in. That you're having to do different strategies, but we'll see.
Yeah, yeah.
I
There were.
love seeing new names.
I mean, when I go through the teams that have advanced, I've only had a second to do it. You can see there's a little bit of overlap on what those teams did to get through the bloodbath. But I'll let people figure that out for themselves. But
Um, but beyond contests,
oh yeah, sorry, I didn't
got
mean to get you
bigger
off this topic.
changes this week that we had been, thinking about forever. But we have some stuff that hopefully people will be excited about. But the big one is adding manager settings that we haven't. I don't know when the last time we were trying to figure it out. Maybe 4-man, 5-man rotation, but adding to the manager settings page for the first time in forever, which is we're adding some reliever controls in there. It's so you might be able to summarize it better than me, but we know there's different stories that people have. There's the chance when your middle relievers are coming in of picking middle reliever one, picking middle reliever two. Everybody's got, I can't say reliever at the moment. Everybody's got stories of like their worst guy coming in and getting angry about it, and it's kind of been a black box how that decision is made. So we're trying to change that up and change it to where you can decide how much you want to favor your middle reliever one over middle reliever two, your SU one over your SU two. You talk.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I like without trying to like upend the entire game and come up with some really complicated bullpen logic that has all this situational awareness. That would create more problems than it would solve, and we'd be fixing it forever. There is a simple fix that I really like that I think people are really going to dig it. I know I am. Because when you look at the bullpen, you have two middle relievers, two setup guys, you have a long reliever, you have a closer. The long reliever's job's very clear. You know, it's a starter that gets upended early. This guy's coming in as a bulk pitcher. You know that's going to happen. You know that's why, a lot of people put a weaker person there because it doesn't happen a lot. And when it does, you're getting blown out. But you know when that person's coming in. The closer, same thing. We even have a closer option. You can turn it on, turn it off. You turn it on, they're getting used a lot. Turn it off, they're not getting used that much. But you know when they're coming in. Those leverage innings or extra innings, either when you're ahead by less than 3 runs or it's tied and you're going to extras or whatever. You know that. With those other two, there is a bit of a black box and it becomes a bit of a coin flip. And some of the logic behind it, people don't always feel like it makes perfect sense. Um, at the same time, we all agree you shouldn't be able to get away with having a scrub in your bullpen that you can just hide away because that's not realistic. That's not good for the game. That's not good baseball. So you should have to play them. And so the idea is like those middle relievers and those setup guys, you know when they're going to come in, but you don't have you up until now you've had no control over
How much?
who comes in. And so this provides an opportunity for you, just as a percentage, to increase the amount of innings of your better of the two pitchers, just like you would be able to do in Major League Baseball, but it doesn't keep that other person from playing. It just gives you a better chance of that other person coming in so you can push more innings towards that middle reliever and that setup guy over the course of a year, which I think is a great first step towards bullpen logic without trying to over engineer it into something, megalithic.
So you can max. So when people are getting all excited, we've got it. You can max it at 70-30%. So the idea of just, so this is wiping out the complicated logic, which I don't know if everybody understands what's been involved in there, but
No
there's
one understands.
value, there's a value measure, there's handedness measure, there's tiredness measure, there's all those things. It's wiping that out, and then you can decide how much you generally want, how much percentage of the time you want the guys to come in, and then it'll be a 70-30 roll if you put it at that, about which guy will come in. It doesn't mean it's always going to turn out 70-30. There's going to be some chance in there, but over time it'll be 70-30 or
Yeah.
60-60 or 50-50 or 60-40. But the default will be 60-40. 70-30 maybe doesn't sound like that much, but if you think about it,
It's a
like
lot.
yeah, 20-28 versus 12 appearances, that's a big difference. So um
It's
it'll
awesome.
make it a little bit clearer. And if you have and the tiredness factor that was in there, you're gonna have to figure out like how if you're worried about your guy being too tired, then don't pump it up too much. The handedness was always weird because it's not like it was always doing a measure of the exact batter that was coming up right then, but like we're not taking out. I mean,
And it was staying in
they don't do
past
that in
that batter.
MLB anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it didn't make any
you
sense.
don't take the guy out for each batter. So you just gotta factor that in. So that'll make those two clear. I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yep.
We're testing it out right now, but I think we're gonna be ready to go with it this week. Uh, and yeah, nobody had Nobody had touched those settings in a long time, so it'll be exciting.
Yeah, so it'll
Also,
be exciting because it makes an attempt towards better bullpen logic, which is something we've always wanted. But it also does add some more control in the player's hands, a new manager setting for people to mess with. I think people are going to get a lot out of it. We're gonna we're testing this on a pretty short runway, to be honest, compared to what we normally do with stuff. So we're gonna learn a lot from the way that people use it, and I think but it'll be good. It will be a clear improvement.
and while smaller change, but hopefully also exciting for people. While we're up in the manager settings, we're putting back numbers
Uh, People are
for
gonna love this,
yeah,
I
some of
think.
the so there was changes made a couple years ago that mixed reviews, whatever, but on your when your toast, your when your starting pitchers, relievers, bench players come out. We changed them to labels at some point, but we're putting back the percentages so it's clear. So, like with your starting pitchers, 0 to 50%, you're giving your manager the general guide of when to pull the pitcher with the idea that at 50% is when you start incurring penalties and then it speeds up all the way down. Um, I think there's just been a lot of talk recently about people not being at all clear what how those worked or what the setting that they had it at was working. So uh, changing those back to the numbers, and along with that, changing the EN display
Oh,
on your lineup pages back to percentages, um, which
I think that might be one of the most popular ones.
yeah, we were all used to it for a long time. We'll see how that goes, but it should make sense that if your 50 EN pitcher is at 25 instead of it being 25 over 50, you're gonna see 50%, and you don't have to do the mental math yourself. And again, 50% is the big spot where penalties start to happen. And then one last one in
You
there.
want a drum roll for this one?
Yeah, yeah. Just bringing back the SeaFat column and
Whoa!
showing the seasonal fatigue. So if you are newer, uh, I'm really happy that you're watching us talk. But seasonal fatigue, if your pitcher's pitched a bunch over that portion of the season, it starts to bring down what your maximum endurance can be. And we all kind of know that that's there, but I think new people don't. So that when you rest your pitcher, and again, if it's a 50 EN guy and he can never get back to 50, and maybe you're wondering what's broken, it's because of his CFAT, and now we're making it visible again. So you
And
can
I
know.
think like we were talking about with CBT and Mike earlier is like also it's just not there. So even for like people that have been around as long as us, you stop thinking about it and like you don't plan around it during the back half of the season to have your starters going into the playoffs as unfatigued as possible. And I think it's fun to have to manage that during the season. So it will bring that back too.
That's what Mike was saying. That was true too back in the day that I would attempt to if I knew
Get
I
to
was making the
zero if you
playoffs,
could.
I knew I was making the playoffs, you try to get your pitchers to have no seasonal fatigue going into the playoffs, just so you knew you could throw them as long as possible without penalties, and that was
Or when the
harder.
penalties come in, it would be later or, whatever. They get
Now
the
it's
most balls
harder. Now
possible.
we give you the visible indicator. So the new manager settings plus some changes in the display of these things,
And
all
before
coming.
anybody brings it up, just putting it out there, splits are not coming back yet. Well, maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't. I don't know. There's more to look at there. It's not as cut and dry as some of this other stuff. So before you give clone crap, we're talking about it. Just
Yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna fight.
there's other stuff there.
We're gonna fight on that, but
I'm just trying to help you
just
out
like
with
the
that
Brewers and
comment.
Dodgers, just like the Brewers and Dodgers. No, yeah, yeah.
I was trying to help.
No, you're helping. You're helping.
Yep, I'm trying.
Uh, but this is exciting stuff, and I am excited that we're getting it done
Yes,
fast,
it's good.
getting out there,
It's
and
very, very good.
we had stuff that we had talked about for a long time, and then we finally kind of had a breakthrough on what we wanted to do, and there's more to come. There's more endurance stuff that we're looking into, but that'll be another phase.
Another phase for another day. But this is a bunch of stuff, and I think for the people listening, this might be unexpected because we just came out with kind of a new release with a bunch of new stuff. So this is coming out pretty quick, which is cool. It's good.
All right, man.
All right, so we will leave it there. I hope you all root for the Brewers as your second or third favorite team, maybe. Um, but yeah, we'll leave it there. Hope you enjoy all the changes. If you haven't tried the contest, check them out again. You can see right now we're already throwing a bunch of new stuff in there. So check them out. Till next week. This is this week, I guess.